In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 ways for your garden to survive an El Nino drought. Tip number 1 is you've got to water really deep. Now the reason being for this is most people are lazy and they shallow water. When we shallow water, we create a problem, especially for the survival of our garden. You see, what we want to do is we want the roots to go down nice and deep and chase that water. When we're shallowing water, or shallow watering, we're producing roots that are at the top and near the surface that will dry out much faster. So it's very important to at least around about twice a week, very early in the morning like I am now, or in the night time, or just going after the sun's going down so we don't lose all that evaporation out, is to deep water. We want those roots going right down into that subsoil. And the deeper they go down, the hardier they're going to become. They can also chase more nutrients down there, and you're improving your soil at the same time. So deep water at least twice a week. I've got some more watering tips coming up down the line in this video, but this is probably the most important one out of all of them. So one really cool trick is, and I don't have one here, and hope to in the future, is a drip water system where you can drip down slowly into the root profile overnight or even through the day. The drips just slowly go down and seep down nice and deep. The roots will follow that water down, and you save a lot of money because you're not spreading water all over the place, a bit like I am today. Tip number 2 is compost. As you can see, we've got our compost getting ready here for the garden and for the market. And the beautiful thing about compost is it holds not only lots of nutrients and biology, which is great for plants, it stores in 80% moisture. Now if you've got sandy soils, it'll lock in the moisture, and if you've got clay soils, which is really great for drought stuff, it'll help break it up so you've got more drainage. You've got to have a free-flowing soil. Compost is the life, and I would say this is probably the second most important thing. You can't go by getting compost in your garden. It is just beneficial. I don't know. I'm arguing over which one's the most important thing. You let me know in the comments box down below what you think. I think really everything we're putting together here brings this all together. Without one or the other, you just may not survive an El Nino drought event. Compost. Whew. So tip number 3 is mulch. Yes, number 3. This one is gold and is super important. Now, we've set up a whole new bed here. This is a corn bed, and we're going to plant some other things in here as well, but we've raised the bed up. Lots of compost, lots of manure in here. Put the seeds in, sown the seeds, and we've been wetting it down. So this bed's been prepared for about the last month, maybe a little bit longer. Really getting it fertile and ready to go. It's one of the hottest parts in the garden as we come into summer. That's why the corn will grow so well in here. Now we've put some mulch down. Now this is just sugarcane mulch, the organic stuff that you can buy from the shop, and it's great. I really love it. One of the things I like about this mulch is because it's so fine, it breaks down quick, so it becomes humus, it becomes food for the soil web quite quickly. And it's not too expensive. Now, we didn't put it on too thick at first. Now, why? Because when I'm watering it, I want the water to get down and penetrate into the soil. We're deep watering at the moment to really get the water down deep, so when those plants come out, those new little roots, they go down searching for that water and set themselves up for the summer period. Now, this mulch, as I said, it's very fine. Now, if you're doing something different and you don't want your mulch to disappear so quickly, use a thicker, heavier mulch, such as a wood chip, things like that. Just remember though, the water and the rain, whenever you're watering and it's raining, we need to save and trap that as much as we can, because we need to get in the soil profile. If it doesn't get through the mulch, doesn't hit the soil, it's all wasted water. So just remember that. Really awesome tip there. So tip number 4 is another watering tip. And this is something that I learnt from people that grow out in the desert. Is on the hot days when everything's really wilting down, is to just give your plants a light shower. Just coat them in a misting. We're not deep watering like I said before. We're just basically stopping the plants from transpiring so hard, because what happens is when plants transpire, they're sweating just like us. So I'll turn this off now to explain it a bit more deeply. They're sweating just like we do. And the roots are trying to take up this water, but they're evaporating more water than they can get up from the root system. So what this does is, in the extreme hot days, is just stops that transpiration, slows it down, gives them a bit more chance to uptake some water. But just remember, some plants don't like getting wet leaves. So be a bit careful. Just only do it on the days when it's really, really hot. So, the final tip, number 5, this one is gold. I learnt this in biodynamics, guys, about 30 years ago, and it's it's an awesome tip. Now, I've spoken about the compost in the soil, how it holds around about 80%, it feeds the soil, it feeds the living web. I've spoken about a deep soil profile. When you're watering and the water goes down nice and deep, the roots are following it down. They're getting down in there, it's helping the plants get through the hotter days, it's giving them more strength, more vitality, and the option to access more food and building soils at the same time. Now, with this tip, the plants, the leaves, they protect the ground, they shade the ground, they help the biology by keeping it cool in the summer. We're mulching it, composting, as I said, and when we're watering, we're getting less evaporation. And it also stops us from walking around on top of these soils. So, that is an awesome tip. Now, I'm sure you guys out there have got some good tips to help us in a drought, get us through a drought, the El Nino event, as we've got coming up here in Australia. I'd love to hear what you got in the comments box down below before you go. Really important. The community will get down there and read those tips. We really want to help people save their gardens so they get productive. Now, I'm going to be teaching all the way through this whole summer period what I'm doing here. I believe it's really important. We can still keep producing food. We've got plenty of water around in our dams and things like that. Don't worry about all the other stuff at the moment. Focus on getting food, saving some money, building habitat, and you will get through this, my friends. You will get through it, no problem at all. It's just a matter of good planning, forward thinking, and building soils. You know what? When we build our soils really well as well, when we go into the opposite to El Nino, into La Nino, we've got better drainage. And our plants do much better as well. Our whole garden just becomes super healthy, and what we come into what I call the acceleration point. When we can shade, feed, and grow deep soils, build deep soils, we hit that acceleration point, and our garden will survive and thrive through all these events. So please don't worry, keep following the content here at Marty's Garden. I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing right through this whole spring and summer. We're going to head up to Pepe Fassos at 560 Farms, talk to him about this event and what he's growing and what we're growing and why and how we're getting through it. All right, have a great day, happy everything, God bless, and we'll see you at the next video real soon. Don't forget to leave that comment box down below, Don't forget to leave that comment down below. Have a great day, and bye for now. Bless you guys. Love you.